Welcome to
The Neapolitan.
Scoop Podcast.
My name is Steph.
My name is Shay.
and my name is Rose. Thank you for tuning into the Neapolitan Scoop Podcast, where you get your weekly scoop. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Before we get started, yes, you are blessed to see us three in the same room again. Yes, you are. Yeah, we're trying this new concept, but as you know, our content is created for adult audiences only. Please make sure that if you are a child, like and subscribe. Maybe don't watch. Well, you know what? This video isn't going to be too bad. I don't expect too bad.
You never know.
You can watch this one. If it gets too hard, walk away. But our content is for adult audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised due to the certain topics that we might discuss. With that being said, today's topic is narcissistic people.
Mm.
Okay, I have the definition of narcissist, if my phone will get on. And it says it's defined by the Merriam-Webster dictionary as an individual showing symptoms or affected by narcissism, such as an extremely self-centered person who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Okay, Health Essentials says there are 9 characteristics or 9 things that you should look out for in a person that is a narcissist. 1 is grandiose sense of self-importance. 2, fantasies about having or deserving certain things or everything. They feel like everything should be given to them. 3, a sense of self-superiority. 4, a need for excessive admiration. They always need you to tell them they're right. 5, a sense of entitlement. 6, explosive or exploitative behavior. Okay, that's a new one. 7, lack of empathy. 8, frequent envy. Okay. And 9, arrogance. So with that being said, I think I've learned something new. But let's go. Let's go to Shay for some questions.
All right. So, first question is let's see. Have you dealt with a narcissist?
Mm.
Yes,
A lot of them.
I think
I
so.
think we all have.
You
Yes.
got to encounter at least 1 or 2 in your lifetime.
Mhm.
1 or 2? Damn, I've had more than that,
I
I
was gonna
think.
say, if you have one or two, you're doing good.
You're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky if you've only had 1 or 2.
Yes. But yes, I have definitely encountered narcissists all the time.
What did they look like for you?
Normal people. And honestly, if you don't know the characteristics of one, they would definitely make you feel less than. They'll make you feel like whatever happened was your fault and
You're
Yeah.
always wrong.
And we're going to talk
always.
about that later, I think, in one
Mhm.
of the questions that you have. But I definitely agree with Steph. Like, there's no, it's like when they tell you a sociopath, what do they look like? I mean,
You don't know until they
they
start
look like
talking.
normal
Well, no, I
people.
didn't say like look like physically. Like, what did it look like to you? Like, as far as like, what was your experience with them more so?
Well, I've encountered them like at work, in friendships.
Definitely.
At work, it's the where I think a lot some that I've encountered is like people who are disorganized, and
Ah,
then they try to deflect and put the blame on you by saying, "Oh, well, you should have been on top of it instead of relying on me."
ah.
No, you should have did your part because it's a team effort instead of trying to make me feel guilty. Take
Mhm.
accountability. As friends is kind of like when y'all go out and let's just say, for instance, y'all get overly intoxicated or something, and something happens, and y'all end up in a messed up situation, whether it's an accident, whether it y'all lost something. The friend takes no accountability. They start saying, I think that's one of the biggest traits of a narcissist is lack of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh well, you kept giving me drinks. Well, you're also an adult.
You didn't have to
Ah,
take them.
You didn't. So
that's
guess
true.
what? It's just as much your fault as it's mine because you could have very much so declined all of those drinks that I offered you.
That's true.
So that's how
I was trying to be nice to you. It's not my fault. You can't handle the
right. I was
drinks.
probably drunk when I was offering it. Now my
Yes.
account is like on the negative.
No, I think I've seen people that have the grandiose sense of self-importance,
Mm.
and I'm trying to like, I'm thinking of one person right now, and the exploitative behavior,
Mm-hmm.
uh, frequent envy and arrogance, and sometimes envy doesn't isn't necessarily something that you see. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes envy, it's like like this person that I'm thinking of, it's like you can give them, you can be very open to them. You can give them a clean friendship. And when I mean clean, it's like you don't want anything from them,
Yeah.
but they're always trying to get like one up you, or they're always trying to be better than you.
Yeah.
This one person I have in mind right now is somebody that I told them something. I asked them a question and they said, "You triggered me."
Mm.
I I said, "Lord, I've been working on myself."
Lord, she's triggering me right now, or he.
And listen, and then under her breath, she said, you're I think something like you're you're excused, or your apology is accepted." And I'm like, "The fuck?" I'm like, "I didn't apologize. What the fuck do you mean?" First of all, I looked and I'm like, "Don't talk under your breath. I don't like that shit. If you're gonna say something, well, I can talk to you up front and I can tell you your
Oh my
apology is accepted."
Now you're
What
getting defensive.
that? Um, and I'm like, "An apology? I
Mm.
never apologized because I didn't do anything. It's not my fault that whatever I said triggered you." But I saw something really, really like that fell in, and I posted it on my Instagram earlier today. That it said, if something is triggering you that bad, where you note that nobody has done anything to trigger you and it's actually triggering you, work on yourself. That means there's something within yourself that you need to work on.
Yeah.
Whether that be how you were treated as a child, whether that be how you feel at work, whether you feel irrelevant, but not everything that people tell you is supposed to, like, it's
Trigger.
meant to trigger you, right? We love those. I hope you guys can hear those. Um, but this person, like, I really had to take a step back, and I think that's part of the reason why I battled with having. I think I told you guys the other day. I was like, I was battling whether like leave my profile private or leave it
Public.
open
Yeah.
public, because this person keeps going through my stories and I can see them on my
Uh,
stories. And they've added me as a friend. They followed me as a friend, but at one point I unfollowed them. And I was like, I guess it's because I felt like they were just, they're toxic.
yeah.
There really is. It was a toxic person. And now I'm like, I don't know what like the thing behind. And I've told this person before, you are a narcissist.
Mhm.
And they were like, well, nobody has ever told me that before. But after that, I think they did some self-digging. Wait, they did some self-digging, and I think they found out that they are narcissists.
Well,
Like,
that's good.
they are. And they'll kind of, sometimes when they're on their good days, they'll be like, yeah, you're right. It's because of my narcissist tendencies. We'll work on that, sweetheart.
Not you using your narcissism
Yes.
against your nar.
Isn't that, and that's like a
Oh,
true narcissist to
now
me.
I
It's
have an
like,
excuse to be a narcissist
yes,
because it's my narcissism.
yes,
What? Work on it. Stop
yes,
doing that.
yes. But yes, so I've dealt with a couple though. I have
So
stories.
I feel like when they get defensive, because there's no reason why somebody should be able to tell you something and you
Right,
automatically get like defended or offended by it. So you start to
right.
just like project in a sense.
That
I feel like
projecting.
that's also a trait as well because like I know for me, if I bring up something to somebody, like if you hurt my feelings or you
Yeah,
said something, like we could be having a conversation, maybe you said something I didn't like. So if I said, "Hey, you said this and it made me feel away," it's like, "Oh, well, you did this and you did that," and it's like almost like, okay, I can't tell you how you hurt my feelings without you kind of trying to counter back and attack me like
right.
it's my fault or something or like,
And I think that was the scenario here, because I don't the way I came at this person, I've had interactions with them before, so I know how to kind of manage my tone, and I said it in the friendliest way possible. Like, it was a simple question that you gave me 25 different minutes. You gave me an answer for 25 minutes just to tell me you didn't know.
yeah.
And that's what I told the person. You could have just told me you didn't know. And I didn't mean it in any way or possible. I was just like, we could have avoided this whole conversation. You could have just told me you didn't know. And I guess that's what triggered the person, me telling them they didn't know. But it's okay to accept sometimes that we don't know everything. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not going to know everything. But regardless of that, I guess that person got triggered because maybe when they were growing up, or maybe at work, or wherever it might be, they were
So
told they
because
didn't.
you said that, that triggered them.
Yeah, that triggered them. The fact that I
Interesting.
said you could have just told me you didn't know.
Interesting.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of triggers, but I mean, I
I
don't
think
know.
we all have triggers, but we can't let everything and everyone trigger us, right?
Yeah.
I think especially when it's in certain situations, like it's some people you're just gonna, I've learned that you just let them talk and you're just gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
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 You can't take everything personal.
Mhm.
Especially because my intentions were not to trigger this person. I was coming at this person with like just a simple question, and I was like, wow, like that kind of made me kind of go back and be like, maybe I don't want to have any interactions with this person other than what I have to.
And that's what, if you were triggering to her, that's how she should have looked at it. Like, okay, well, she's
Right.
triggering me. I should just kind of
Step
back
back,
up.
right.
Yeah, step
Maybe
back.
reevaluate,
Yes.
Yeah.
see where the disconnect is, and then
Yeah.
proceed and say something.
Right. But you telling me that I triggered you and then saying, well, I accept your apology when I didn't even apologize, that triggered me.
No, for real. Because what the fuck?
Girl,
You
that's
asking
so
for?
And that's what I said. Nobody apologized to you. And then that's when I was like, you know what?
Not you
Well,
having conversations with yourself. You
yes. And
gotta
then I was like, let
apologize.
me get it back together, Rose, because Jesus is working on you.
No, that's very narcissistic. I accept your apology. I didn't
What?
apologize. I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
When I told you it took all the power in me to not be like, bitch, what?
No, seriously.
I know that took a lot.
And I feel like as a person who, we all have had moments where, like, when we're teens, you snap at stuff. You
Yeah.
don't really understand how to evaluate situations,
That.
kind of like before you react. But as you grow up, you're working on yourself. You understand, like, cause and effect or how to respond to different
Yeah.
things. And so people don't realize that even though I'm coming to you in a calm manner, don't think I can't get
Yes.
out of character. And you try not to because you don't want to. I
Man.
hate when I have to get out of character with somebody. But if I get out of character, it's because you completely just don't understand, or you just completely
Yeah.
disregard it, or you're just not listening. So it's like that would trigger me,
Yeah.
goddamn, because
Yeah.
I'm already working myself as it is, and then you over here doing what you doing.
And that's what I felt. Like, I really felt like this. And then they said, you know how to push my buttons. Bitch, that was really like, whoa. Like, first of all, this was work related.
Uh,
Wow.
oh,
Yeah.
That's
now I
crazy.
got an idea.
Yeah. So I was like, this is work related. Like, first of all, I didn't.
Wow. They said that though?
Yeah. And I was
Wow.
just like, I was coming at
They
you in a
need to
professional
take
manner.
some
But I feel like this person really, like,
self-development process.
no, I think they don't know how to separate our previous friendship from life now.
Yeah.
At a professional thing, and that's when it took me that moment, like Shay says, it took me kind of a step back where I had to be like, maybe I don't want to be approaching this person at all. Like, even for a question, I might just go to somebody else, which it sucks because we have to work together. But baby, believe me, I won't be triggering you no more, so you don't trigger me.
Facts. You're just gonna keep it.
That's
I wouldn't even say cordial. Just don't mess with me.
Yes, and that's what I think that's where I am now. It's like I can't be too nice with you, because once I start being nice with you, you think it's okay to kiki with me, and our relationship is never gonna be the same. I'm not your friend.
I know who you're
Well,
talking
I know I caught on when she said something too.
about.
But I guess that brings me to my next
It's
question.
the
So
I
what?
like your earring stuff.
So what is the best way to deal with narcissistic people?
Rose kind of just touched on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the key is emotional intelligence. 'Cause you
Yeah.
need that emotional intelligence to be able to deal with those type of people, because they
Yeah.
will get under your skin, or they will like test your self-esteem. They'll
Yeah.
have you sitting there questioning yourself, like, did I do something wrong?
And I think that was me. I was like, what the fuck? What did I say that triggered this person? Then I
Now
was like,
you're,
you know what? That's when I was like, you know what? No, I didn't. It wasn't me. It was you.
yeah,
It's not me. It's you. It just,
you have to recognize that, like Rose said earlier, you can't take things personal. It's like, I
yeah.
don't know what you're going through,
Yeah.
but you need to deal with that yourself.
Yeah, because at this point, I don't want to know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Like, take care of that at home, at wherever you need it, at work, wherever it is that you need to take care of it, but don't bring it to me.
And honestly, like when I deal with people like that, like if I feel like a person is saying that I am the problem, then I eliminate myself
Yeah.
as the problem, because I don't want to be a problem to nobody.
Exactly.
So if you feel like I'm a problem and I'm a trigger to you, don't come around me.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. I agree.
I'll remove myself.
I agree. And I think also it's do whatever it is that's going to preserve your self peace. Because to me, it was like, I'm in too good of a place right now, personally, emotionally, for me to be getting triggered by somebody that is a nobody in my life. It's true. It's like, who are you to be triggering me? Nobody. Why am I giving you that authority
Yeah.
for you to trigger me, or for you to act like a fucking narcissist? Because that's what you are. You're a fucking narcissist. And I hope you're watching this fucking video.
Since you all of my stories and shit.
Yes. Um,
For real.
I
but
was
it's
looking for something, but because I looked it up a long time ago. I don't have the link no more, but just basically like, how do you know you're dealing with a narcissist? Like, like every time you bring up something, they always change it back to you, make it somehow like your fault.
Yes.
Because like I said, when you bring up your emotions, like, hey, you said this, that hurt my feelings. Now all of a sudden they're turning it back on you, like, oh, well, it's your fault for something. And you always end up feeling like, well, dang, should I have brought this up to
Like
them?
it's your
Or
fault.
what should I have said differently? Or was it really me? Like, even though your feelings are valid, you know why you feel the way you feel, and you should be able to express that to people. But at the end of the day, you always feel like when you leave the conversation, you feel like, you just don't feel like it was heard. You don't feel heard. You don't feel seen. You don't feel like
Upset, maybe? Like upset, like it was your fault, whatever
it was your
happened, even if it
fault.
wasn't.
You're
Yeah.
questioning yourself, you're questioning your thoughts, you're questioning your feelings, like, should you even have brought this up?
Right.
And I think if you leave conversations like that, like, you leave feeling like nothing was resolved in a
Yes,
sense. And
definitely.
it makes you feel bad as a person who's just really trying to be open and expressive. And when somebody shuts you down and make you feel like you're the problem, you really take that in. And it's hard
Yeah.
to kind of like separate the two in a sense. Like, it almost make you feel like insecure. Like, I can't talk about
That.
things. I can't, I can't speak on how I feel. A person may say, well, hey, I'll listen to you more if you came like this, right? And then when you come like that, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, that doesn't get the good reaction
I've
either.
had
It's
that
like, no
happen
matter how
before
you come at
too.
them, it doesn't really matter. The reaction's gonna be the same.
Because just thinking right now, I'm thinking of this friend I used to have, and oh, he's another one that's always in my story. So hey, go like and subscribe. You know who you are too. But I'm starting to think, am I the problem? I attract
Am
narcissist
I the
people.
narcissist?
Yeah, do I just keep attracting these narcissist
I
people?
feel like people don't present themselves like as narcissists in the beginning.
No, but I think you know what? I think I open myself up for people that are narcissists because and I'm thinking of this guy friend that was my friend, and I was just very open and honest with him, and like he knew all my secrets. Like he was the one guy that knew everything that was going on in my life. Um, and at some point, it just got like I felt like at one point he was just using it like he was more than I was, like superior,
Mm.
and it was like. I would tell him like the way you're talking to me or what you're telling me I'm not vibing with that. Maybe at that time because I was just younger, I didn't know how to emotionally respond to that, and I would come at him again, but the way that he would just make me feel sometimes at the end of those conversations, like you said, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, what did I do wrong?" You know?
Yeah.
Or he would really go off on me, and then I'd be like, "What the fuck did I do to make him mad?" And it wasn't what I did. It's just him getting mad at simple shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I've had my fair deal of narcissists. Um, and yeah, I think some of them will admit to it, some of them won't.
Yeah.
And it's the ones that admit to it that I'm more scared of because they know they're narcissists,
And
you
they
know.
just still,
So, have
yeah.
y'all ever like asked yourselves, "Am I a narcissist?"
I
Yeah.
have some narcissistic traits, yes.
Yeah, because I would
We're
say
going back to the traits.
I'm like, what do
she's
I have?
like, "Let me see if
I
I
think for me, one of
qualify."
the biggest ones is, and I'm gonna go back, I think it's lack of empathy.
Mm.
I don't think I'm very empathetic. Um,
I think I am empathetic, but I feel like it just depends on the relationship that I have with the person. Because sometimes you can be in my like, I think sometimes you can just not understand people. And
yeah,
when you don't understand them, that causes you to be less empathetic towards them. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not saying it right, but I feel like in my case is what it is. Like, if I feel like if I have a deep connection with you, I'm
yeah,
more sympathetic towards the
definitely.
situation. But if I feel like something's lacking there, I may
Be
not
breathing.
be as empathetic.
Yeah, but I think I'm the same way. Unless I have a close relationship with you, I'm not going to be empathetic to your issues because we all have problems in life.
Yeah.
Like, unless I really know what's going on with your story and you're telling me, look, this is my struggles and I've been there with you and I
Yeah.
know what your struggles are, I, I'm going to be like, shit, we all have struggles.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be very empathetic. I think another one would be, I saw another one that I was like, ooh,
I know I'm not.
arrogance. I tend to be a little arrogant sometimes.
I was gonna say it, but I ain't gonna
But
say
you
it.
know what? It's good that you notice it because that way, when you do it, you can kind of catch it.
But you know what it is? I think this is what it is. It's not arrogance, it's self-confidence. And some
Yeah.
people confuse it with
It's
that. Like
hidden.
I'm a confident woman and I'm gonna say what I feel and I'm gonna speak my mind and I'm not like if it hurts somebody, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't say things with the intention of trying to hurt anybody, but sometimes they just come out tough and that's just the way I speak. I try to think back on my emotional intelligence training sometimes and I'm like, is what I'm gonna say gonna be taken a different way.
Yeah.
But then I also know that I can't control, and you know, we were just saying that how people take
Receive
what
you.
you're
Receive
what you're saying, yeah, or how they perceive you. Because I've had that too, where it's like, feel like you're so arrogant. I'm not arrogant. Like if you really get to know me, I'm not that arrogant. I'm a little bit, but not a lot. But I think I don't know. I think that those would be my two when I look at the list of those things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think those are the two that I vibe
Mm.
with. How about y'all?
I think mine's would be fantasies about having or deserving, because I
Oh,
do sometimes feel like I'm deserving of certain things, and I had to
mm,
realize that. And I think it's more so because I'm a giver, so
mm,
I give a lot, and then I feel like I should get it back.
Yeah.
And
ah,
I have to remind myself that everybody is not me, and that
that's
if
true.
I give without expecting.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to realize that,
I could
but I
agree
think I
with that too.
finally. About me?
No, no, no. I'm
Oh,
just saying
She
like that's
said like
true.
she vibes with that too, like hers.
okay. I was like, wait, you see that? You didn't tell me?
No, to me, I think you're giving and I think you have a really good personality. I've never
Mm,
gotten that from you. But
Yeah.
I just within myself, I had to realize like you said about giving money to people, like
yeah,
we talked
Mhm.
about that.
yeah,
Don't give with the thought of getting it back because you
yeah.
never know. And then, just give out the kindness of your heart or don't
Right.
do things for people expecting them to do the
The
same
same
in
for
return
you.
because
Mhm.
everybody's not the same. Everybody is built differently.
Right.
That's true.
So your version of kindness could be different for them,
Yeah. They
you
say
know?
they say don't expect you out of other
Out of
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you might not get it, and
You
that's gonna
know,
be very
and then you're
disappointing.
gonna be disappointed. Now you're gonna be pissed, and now
Yeah.
you're a narcissist.
But I think but I think everybody has a little bit of narcissist.
hmm
It's just that some people
A more,
are
way
a lot
more
more.
than others.
Bro, I just can't stand the people who don't think they don't do no wrong. Like
hmm
them is my worst type of narcissist because I'm like, you do wrong. You just may not see your faults,
We
but
all
you
do.
do wrong. And I definitely know like I've I've more so grown into taking accountability for my actions and stuff. So if I
Mm,
hurt your feelings, I'm gonna say I'm sorry. If I did something wrong, I'm gonna apologize. But I have a hard time with people who do stuff wrong and they just don't see it or they don't apologize. I'm like, how do you not realize you doing something wrong? Like, how do you not realize like what you're doing and like that is affecting other
right.
people?
Right.
You know?
And I'll
You're
say,
so distracting. I'm sorry.
I'll say
That she
this
has
too.
this face like
I feel like narcissism starts at a young age, because I noticed it
mm,
in some of my children.
really?
Yes, it's like that. Like when let's just go back to when we were younger, and we would get in trouble,
Mm,
and we were scared, so we would like try to put the blame on someone else.
mm.
Your sibling. I didn't do
Yeah.
it.
Oh baby, I always
But
got blamed
see,
for it, so I couldn't blame nobody
yeah.
else.
But the sibling that didn't get blamed, they built a sense of like, kind of like, oh, well, it wasn't me, it was you.
Oh,
Like,
like they believe that shit.
yeah, they start
Mm,
believing it. Like,
ah,
oh, that broke because you made me mad and I went and hit the wall. So it's your
like
fault.
accountability, lack of
Yeah. So
accountability.
I think
Okay.
that's where it starts, because I had to kind of break it down to my son when he got in trouble, and he literally believed that nothing he did was his fault. And I said, you put yourself in that situation.
Yeah,
So you have to take some accountability, because you could have made different decisions.
that's true.
So whoever did their part, but you did your part too. So, and I literally had to break it down to him, because at first he was like, "Well, I didn't do nothing," and I'm like, "Okay, let's break it down real quick. This person did this; they were
Yeah.
wrong, but this is what you did." And then once I broke it down to him like that, he was like, "You know what?" He was like, "Yeah, it was my fault."
Uh-uh.
So
We got a 30-minute warning,
they
guys.
say they want to go home. But
I think we're
yeah,
close
so
to
I
8.
feel like a lot of like kids, when you're younger, you get away with certain things that you start to believe like that you're supposed to not take accountability for
Yeah.
things. And then that's where narcissists are
Born and bred.
sprouted. Yes.
Sprouted. I like that.
So maybe the narcissism is like deeper when you have siblings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. It's so long.
But honestly, maybe you don't have to have siblings, because it could be with only children. Just
Hmm.
always it being about them.
That's
Ah.
funny because my daughter had her friend over this weekend. And so it started with the puppy, right? So they took the puppy out the cage when they woke up. And with puppies, you got to take them outside as soon as you take them out the cage because they got to pee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they didn't realize that. So they got the puppy out the cage and they put him on the bed. And next thing you know, she's like, Mama, so one person said, "Oh, this person put the puppy on the bed." And the other person said, "No, I didn't do it. You put it on the bed." Well, somebody put the puppy on the
Right.
bed. And they were like, "Oh, well, but it peed on the bed." And I'm like, it's not even the biggest thing in the world. I can wash the sheets, like no big deal. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter who put it on the bed. But thank you for telling me. But it's
Right.
just like nobody can take accountability for, and they're both only children, so they don't have siblings. But it was just like, oh, I didn't do it. And then when it came down to the dog pooping on the floor, like, oh, well, she did. And then, no, I didn't, but you did. Okay, it don't matter who did it. Like, it's not
Right.
that big of a deal. Like, just, I mean, if you know you did it, then you did it. But I don't like the whole, you did it. No, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You did it. Like, okay. Figure out within yourselves who really did it. But
Right.
it don't matter to clean up the shit. That's all I care about.
That's very
Facts.
fair.
That part.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care who did it. Y'all were both here,
Get
so
it
y'all
done.
both
Yeah.
clean it up. You know. But yeah, I think it starts at home. I think, and like I was telling someone earlier, like, as parents, we kind of forget, like, we get older and we kind of forget like what we were like when we were kids.
Mm.
So we kind of think like, oh, kids are kids, they don't know no better. But you start molding them at a very
Yeah.
young age, and it starts with having to sit them down and break down why it was your fault.
Yeah.
Because I could have just punished him. I could have just punished him and said, okay, no phone, no this.
Yeah.
But he was still just going to be like, oh, I just got punished
Right.
because
For
my
no
friend
reason.
did something stupid. No, let's go back. Let's rewind. But that's what us parents tend to do. We just like, okay, you messed up. We're going to punish you. Go to your room. You can't go nowhere. You can't do this. But they never actually get why.
Comprehend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we need to focus more on, is actually breaking it down and
Definitely.
explaining to them like, hey, they happen to us.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably why we were little narcissists too, and we just happened to
Because we got whipped for no
grow.
reason.
Yeah,
According to us.
Okay, so next question.
Mhm.
Do you think narcissists are aware of their narcissism?
Well, we kind of just said that we're aware of our narcissism.
We are.
But not everybody
Yeah.
is, though.
Not all
We are
narcissists.
because we were trained on emotional intelligence,
That's
but not
true.
everybody understands even what that even means, and they don't
Mhm.
understand their emotions and they don't understand other people. They don't try to understand other people.
Mm-mm.
So not everybody is aware.
Take
Somebody
that.
told me there was good narcissists.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no such thing as a good narcissist.
I feel like
If there are, we are it.
right. I'm the epitome of a
us.
good narcissist.
It's me.
Yeah. Things a narcissist would say. I'm the good type of narcissist.
But no, I don't think they are. Like
No.
just thinking about like somebody who I dated before. I remember like back in the not even back in the day, like a couple years ago,
Those are the worst.
I was dating
Dating a
this one guy,
narcissist.
and it's crazy because like he never saw his faults. He thought he was
Mhm.
the shit.
Mm.
But I had to break that N-word
The
down and
bubble.
let him know that he wasn't, because like you thinking you the hottest shit walking, in reality, let me tell you about yourself.
Mm.
And they don't like when you tell them about
They
themselves
don't.
because everybody around them is praising them and making them seem like they're the shit. Like, but they don't realize where they lack. And you're not gonna tell me to change me, but think that you don't have to change yourself.
No.
And I'm the one to tell you about yourself. And they don't like that because, like they say, nobody ever told me this. Well, they just kiss your ass, and I don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or you played a better role with those people. So those people are like, oh my God, they're so friendly. No, they're not. Get to know the bitch.
Or
a little
they
more.
could be or they could be scared of them. Some people feel like when they have a certain amount of power, even though they're not the government, they may not be this and not that, but in their inner circle, they may be the powerful one.
Maybe.
So, or they could be the one that people just I don't want to pick their buttons because they'll snap. So
Ah.
people tread
So
lightly
they're like
around them.
more scared of them than
Yeah. But it's just like, okay, I
I don't want to be around people that I'm scared of.
I'm not. I would. Well, because I was younger. When you're younger, you're easier to manipulate.
Yeah, that's true.
You're green about shit, so you hold your tongue about a lot of stuff.
That's true.
But you get to a point you get fed up with shit, and when people just start, coming at you, you like, okay, well, let me tell you about you. So since you think that I'm this or I'm that, or you want to change so much about me, like,
Change.
oh yeah, remember? I think I told you about that guy who said when
Oh
I
yeah,
went
yeah,
to the
yeah.
park, and if he would have known I had on shorts on a
Huh?
hot summer day, he would have told me to change my clothes. That person, he was
Maybe
very
change it.
narcissistic. He broke up with me all because somebody said they saw me do something, and in reality it wasn't true, but he believed them anyway.
He didn't bother to ask,
I
probably.
wonder where that guy is at these days.
Who knows? Who cares? I don't
Mm.
care.
Mhm.
But I don't think people are aware that they're narcissists because other
Mm-mm.
people around them praise them so much, so they can really
Nobody
think
calls them
that
out on their bullshit.
exactly. So
I think most don't. Some do and don't care.
But it's hard to call out a narcissist on their bullshit because they're so good at manipulating you and making you believe that you're the person that's wrong.
They're
Yeah.
So it's like you're just
manipulators.
sitting there like, oh, it's me. No, it's them.
Yeah.
And it takes someone who knows how to identify a narcissist to
Yeah.
call them out on their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So a counter to that is, so obviously gaslighting. Gaslighting is basically when people try to manipulate you in a sense. Like you'll say something, they'll throw something back at you, make you
Hmm.
they're just manipulating the situation to their benefit.
Mm.
So how does gaslighting fit into narcissistic behavior? I think I just said
Um,
that.
how does gaslighting? I would say a sense of entitlement. People who gaslight people have a sense of entitlement. Um, Let me
I
see.
think the whole just like I said, when you tell somebody how you feel and they turn it around on you and make you feel like you did something wrong to them, that's a form of
Yeah. Well,
gaslighting.
you make me feel like there you go, making it about yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation could probably not even be about whatever is, happened or whatever, but somehow because you brought up how you feel,
Yes.
now all of a sudden, well, you did this to me. So that validates what happened recently? Like that validates now?
Yeah.
That validates what you said 24 hours ago.
Or somebody that you're telling them something and then they make it about them.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, that happened to me 10,000 years ago, and I didn't react that way, and I'm like, I didn't.
Like, I'm not you. I'm gonna have my emotions. I'm gonna do what I gotta
Oh
do.
man, my worst thing was somebody to say, "Well, I don't do this. I don't. That's not.
Well, you're
I'm
not
not.
me,
Yeah,
and I'm not you.
yeah. Ah, look, now I'm triggered.
Oh,
Oh
yeah. I
man,
mean, I think it's all gonna be with, because I'm thinking, like, can we get rid of narcissists? No, I think they're
no,
everywhere.
they're
So,
born
yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah. It's like one dies and like three are born or sprout, like Stephanie says, they
Yeah,
sprout out the earth.
like
Um,
little sunflower seeds.
mhm. I think it's just calling them out, being like, "Hey, you're a narcissist." They're not gonna believe it probably when
Right,
you
of
tell them
course
you're a
not. Because
narcissist,
no
No,
one
they're
wants
gonna
but
to
get
believe they're a
offended. They're gonna be
narcissist.
like, it's your fault.
pulling yourself out of those situations, especially if this person is gaslighting you, it might be hard, especially if it's a loved one, if it's somebody you've known for years and years and
Yeah,
years. I think it was 13 years in my case initially. Um, it's hard because you know these people, you grow up with these people, and then all of a sudden you're like, shit, I've been gaslighted for 15 years.
yeah, it's definitely harder when you have time
Yeah,
with the person
yeah,
or just like you said, family, whoever.
yeah,
Time really makes it hard for you to pull
mhm,
away
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because then
But
you,
you still can.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't let that. I've learned that you can't let relationships and friendships and how you feel about a person deter you in healing yourself and taking care of your own mental health, because I've also had people that blame everything on their mental health, and it's like, come on, we all have our shit going on, we all have whatever it may be that we have. For me, it's like ADD and uh anxiety and all that, but it's like I can't blame everything on my anxiety, I can't blame
yeah,
everything on my ADD. And when people are doing that all the time and then gaslighting you for it, like, you're triggering my ADD or you're triggering my ADHD or you're triggering my anxiety or you're making me anxious. Let me do you a favor and let me pull myself out of here, because obviously you do this every time I come around.
And it's so funny how you always bring the worst out of them, but you can never bring the best out of them.
Oh no.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, how about that good thing I made you do? Why don't we talk about that?
right.
But
Everything's so negative all the
yeah.
time.
Yes. Look, this guy friend that I kept talking about, I remember he still lives with his parents. So I think our biggest thing was, and it was a group of friends who would tell him that it's like, why don't you move out? Like, get your own place. You know, get your own I don't know, start creating your own path as a person. And he would get so mad. I didn't grow up with the same thing that you guys did. My parents don't have the money. My parents didn't have that much money either. Like, I didn't come from a golden crib or a
Right.
silver,
You did what you had to do.
spoon, right?
Yeah.
Um, but he was always a victim. Like, anything you told him, he always had a reason why he was a victim in
Girl,
that
I can't
plot.
deal with those type of people. They drain the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Drain me. I don't like
Oh
Definitely.
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Like, are people who just like you said, people who had things going on. And it's the
Mhm.
worst when you deal with older people too, because they'll sit there and be like, "Oh, this happened when I was 18 and I was 20." But I'm like, you 66 now. So why does that still like is a thing that you use? At
Yes.
some point you gotta, and maybe it's just me because I feel like you just gotta move on from shit.
Yep.
Heal
You
yourself
can't just let
emotionally.
everything in your
Yeah.
past bother you.
Take care of
Like,
yourself.
you don't think I've had traumatic shit happen to me? I have. But you
We
think I'm
all
gonna
have.
let that be the reason why I don't progress in life currently?
Mhm.
No.
Right. And you see, that's why I say that I'm less empathetic to some people because it's like, you don't know my life. Like, I, y- this is why I always say people know what I let them know about my life. There's a lot about my life that people don't know.
Mhm.
Um, and it's like those people that do know what's going on can understand certain things or certain reasons or kind of why my guard is set a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like when people just want to blame everything on their upbringing, it's like, and we all did that shit.
And people be crying out for help. Well, I need help, and then you don't ever go receive help. Like a lot of
Mhm.
these jobs, you got insurance. You can go seek a
Yes.
therapist, but then they
Mhm.
won't. I
Like our
just
friend that are not follower,
Oh, girl.
he needs
He,
help, buddy.
I'm like, sir,
Get
what
some
is it?
therapy.
EAP? What is that they give you at work? The free one?
EAP, yeah,
Employee something
yeah.
sort of thing?
Employee assistance program.
Yeah, like I don't know. He needs some serious help.
He
And
really
that's the thing.
does,
I feel bad for him because he's literally miserable
and
every
he's
day.
young.
Yeah, it's like why would you want to have that mentality? You can't be happy because you're always thinking that somebody's trying to get you or get you for a
Yeah.
free meal. You're never gonna find happiness that way,
Get you for
sir.
a free
I'm
meal.
sorry. We need to stop talking about this meat.
Yeah, yeah, really, we've been talking about him for
2 days.
Yeah, all week.
yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Don't try us.
Send your complaints to Kevin.
Please,
Kevin.
please. He got time.
He really does.
But yeah. So are those all the questions?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Which is a clap.
Oh my God. You're so
Hey.
kind. You're so kind.
But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this episode. Even if you are a narcissist, I hope you can identify some of your narcissistic traits.
Yeah.
And if you are someone who is being or has been abused by a narcissist, I hope you are able to identify the
Mm.
traits and know how to handle them and deal with them. Just walk away, honestly. Walk away. You can call them out on their bullshit just in case you want to rub them the wrong way a little bit more, but they probably still gonna be mad.
Right.
But at least you said what you said, and that is probably helping them, along the way because they can go
Bro.
back and
Yeah.
focus on it and think about it
You
and
think
see
so
it.
though? Because I feel like
Some
some
of them do.
narcissists aren't gonna
Some of them do. Not all of them, but I mean, we're out here trying to defeat one narcissist at a time.
one at a time.
Yes. So, anyways, we want to thank you guys for joining us on our podcast today. Again, if you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, like, and comment. We love feedback and we will respond. While you're at it, follow us on all streaming platforms. Any platform that streams podcasts, we are on there. Also, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, shoot us a DM or shoot us an email. Again, thank you and see you next week for your weekly scoop serving.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.